Good evening and welcome back, blackdoctor.org. I am your host, Dr. Renee. And first, I have to say, everyone, please share this broadcast. We are on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube. Please share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. So it is Women's History Month. And so today we are going to talk about something that affects women and men. We're going to talk about sex. So maybe you should have the little people not near your television, phone, whatever, computer, however you're watching this, because they may not need this information. Now, if you have some children that are old enough or you think old enough to be having sex, then you might need them to hear this conversation. So they might learn a thing or two. But it's Thursday evening. I'm always here, Thursday night, 6 p.m. And like I said, it is Women's History Month. And it's also Kidney Awareness Month and Colorectal Awareness Month. So we will be talking about all these different things this month. I'm very excited. Please make sure you share and let us know where you're tuning in from. Good evening, Kanisha. Thank you for tuning in. And as you know, you guys, I'm always drinking my water. So that is same as usual. And tonight's guest is my bestie, and he is the most amazing person ever, I swear. What he has done to me just blows me away. So we're going to talk about it. So you'll hear all about it. But I have Dr. Drai, and not that Dr. Drai. I have my Dr. Drai. And so if you guys watch the Super Bowl, I'm talking about my Dr. Drai, not that one. Dr. Drai, in his bio, I put it in there in the post. He is an OBGYN by training, but he is so much more to a whole lot of us in the medical field. He has his own school where he's teaching doctors how to create businesses that will give them time and money and allow them to change lives, and like he's done so many of ours. So without further ado, good evening. Take yourself off mute. Oh,
hey, how are you, Dr. Renee? It's so great
fabulous.
to be here.
Thank you so much.
First of all, you are so skinny.
You are so
and I'm so mad because you're like so skinny, which is, you look good. No, you look good.
Thank you, sir.
How much
we
have
haven't
you
seen
dropped?
each other in a long time, you guys. As a matter of fact, the last real trip I took was January 27th of 2020, and I was with him all day, and then I left and came to Chicago, went to Chicago, and as we know, the world changed slightly after that, and things ain't been the same. But I've lost 50 plus pounds.
Woo!
So,
congratulations. You look good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You look good, girl.
So I've already told everyone we're going to talk about sex tonight.
Okay.
But he likes talking about it. So you guys, I forgot to mention, he has 2 books. I should have told him to get them. I should have went and got mine. But he has one book, 20 Things You May Not Know About the Penis and 20 Things You May Not Know About the Vagina.
Yeah.
That he wrote. And when I tell you, he did a tour with the penis, and he did come to Chicago. Yes. And I attended that. And when I tell you, I learned a lot.
You did. You were all in it. You were there for 3 hours.
Yes, I learned a lot. So you guys, he has a lot of information. But the first thing I want him to cover is, please, because we are still in a pandemic, please talk about COVID and how it relates to sex for men and women.
So fellas who are listening, so there's a lot of studies out that show if you have COVID, you actually have limp penis, so erectile dysfunction. So I would recommend you not to get COVID by being vaccinated, or stay in. You really should be vaccinated. You really should be vaccinated. So it's a transient effect right now. There's a lot of still studies going on to how long it's going to last for the erectile dysfunction. So just remember, fellas, ladies who are dating fellas, if you don't want your man to have a limp penis, definitely get him vaccinated, okay? So that's for the fella. So the ladies, what we're seeing we see a lot of irregular bleeding that's going on. So when you do have irregular bleeding, you're not ovulating, releasing the egg, which leads to some sort of infertility stuff. So we do see that stuff when you're getting COVID. And then we do see a risk of stillbirth as well. So pregnant ladies out there, stillbirth, we see a risk of stillbirth if you are COVID. So
yeah,
so don't get it. Don't get COVID.
Don't get COVID. So get vaccinated so you don't get COVID.
Don't get COVID, please.
When you are vaccinated, and he will agree with me, when you are vaccinated, if you do get COVID, your long-term, long haul, all of those things and all these different things we're talking about are decreased substantially, which is why we encourage people to please get vaccinated. Okay.
Yes, please, 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 please. It's so scary. That's one of my biggest fears, like getting COVID. Even though I'm vaccinated and booster, that's like, because you just never know.
Right.
Like, you know, I know I should not be on a ventilator. I should not have severe disease based off of the studies, but you know,
you just never know. Exactly. Right. And that's me. I'm a severe asthmatic who, by the grace of God, don't have to take meds every day anymore. But if I get COVID, I'm like, Lord, I think that might spiral me back into a bad place. So that's why I'm like, no COVID over here, please. Thank you. And I'm vaccinated and boosted as well. Yeah. So please tell us, what is momentum?
Momentum intimacy?
Yes.
So Momentum. So I'm Dr. Drai. I'm a board-certified OBGYN sexual wellness expert, founder of Momentum Intimacy, which is the first condom and lube line created by FDA cleared by a physician in the USA. So super excited to be the first one there in that market. So we have sexual wellness products. We have personal lubricants as well as condoms, as well as other things like handcuffs. Tie me up, some handcuffs there. We have other things to keep you in momentum so you can have safe, pleasurable, healthy sex. Yeah, so that's the momentum. We have 3 different divisions. We have a for her division, which is for my ladies. We have a for him division for my fellas. And then we have a for them division, which is for our non-binary peeps and our trans peeps.
Yeah, so you guys, I just have to throw this in here. So Dr. Drai is so amazing. He does sex change operations. Like I do. I was so, and I mean, he has studied and goes and gets more studies and studies overseas to learn exactly what to do.
I know.
I'm just like, I was so amazed. I was like, wow.
It's a lot. Yeah. But now, you know, we see a lot of that mainstream here in the U.S. now. Like back then, you know, when we were in medical school, Dr. Ray, it was like, you know, the lesbian patient was the taboo thing. It was like, what is a lesbian? Right? I remember that lecture and everyone was like, oh, a lesbian. Right now it is more in the curriculums, non-binary healthcare as well as trans care. So, I mean, America has definitely changed. Definitely the curriculums in medical schools changed for the better to be more inclusive of everyone. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I miss you so much. I miss you so
much. So, you guys, I think it was just blew me away because if you go to the store, you see there's so many different brands of condoms, but we don't ever know the people that actually create them.
Yeah. So the thing about condoms, you have to be careful about condoms because a lot of them are made with bad things. So you have to be careful. So I don't have non-latex condoms, and I'll tell you this. So if you're allergic to latex, I'm not your guy. But it's because non-latex condoms don't protect you from STI. So of course I'm a physician, so I have to have the most superior products out on the market that's going to protect you and keep you healthy. And that's why we don't have that right now.
So some people don't call them STIs, sexually transmitted infections, sexually transmitted diseases. That's what he's talking about. So obviously, if you're going to wear a condom, yes, pregnancy is a great thing to prevent, but
diseases,
you know, some of these diseases, as you and I both know, will stay with you forever.
Forever. So you have to be careful.
Everyone, herpes is the gift that keeps on giving.
Herpes, genital warts, you know, there's a lot of things. So just be careful. And, you know, even like syphilis, we were seeing syphilis on the rise now. Syphilis is so hard to detect because you just have like this little bump that goes inward in like your genital area and it's painless. So it's really, really hard to detect. So just wrap it up. Yeah. Wrap it up. Please wrap it up. Even with your toys too. So if you have adult toys, like wrap it up as well. Yeah.
And if you have questions, everyone, please, you know, post them in the chat. I will do my best to get to them, but post them in the chat. And if you're watching in any of our 1 million groups or something, make sure that you go to blackdoctor.org to the video to put the questions because we won't see them otherwise. But please, so please tell me what inspired you to start this line.
Yeah, so I've seen over 50,000 vaginas, so you know that, right? I'm a gay male. I'm a chemist. I work for an industry, big lube companies, big condom companies as a brand ambassador back in the day. I was a gynecologist to adult stars as well. I was trying to figure out how I was going to say it. adult stars as well. So I've seen a lot of things in the industry, but really the number one reason why women were coming to me was sexual pain. Like they were having pain doing intercourse, they were having dry vagina for many different reasons: depression, anxiety, stressed out, being on birth control pills, not loving their partner, not being in love with their partner, right? Because if you're not in love with your partner and you have sex with them, then sex will be associated with pain for you, right? So there's many different reasons why people have sexual pain. So, and I was seeing it younger and younger and younger. So we were seeing like 24-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 20-year-olds coming in with sexual pain because of all these things that were going on. So I said, you know what, let me try and from vaginal dryness. So I said, let me find a way to help this vaginal dryness with pure, safe ingredients that you could put in your vagina. And that's where momentum for her came from. Momentum for him, you know, I'm a gay male. Okay. So I was, you know, enough said, gay male. So that's where I wanted to create something that was like super smooth, super silky, and something that can last a long time. So that's where that comes from for him brand. For them brand, a lot of my non-binary trans patients were post-op were asking about, hey, how can we pleasure ourselves because we're having, you know, vaginal dryness, you know, obviously the butt doesn't get wet, right? So you have to have something down there. So that's where the for them line came from. So it was fitting the need. Something was going on in America with vaginal dryness, you know, dry penis, all these things that were going on. I said, you know what? I have the means to fix it because I've been in the industry. So I did. So that's where momentum was birthed. You know, 15 years of being an OBGYN, gay male, a chemist, you know, a sex expert, a sex educator. Who else better? And I worked in the industry. Who else better to create this but me?
And then FDA approved. You guys don't understand how huge that is. Like,
that's a lot. That's a lot going on.
Huge. That is so huge.
Well, it's FDA clear now, so we say clear now.
Yeah,
So FDA, a lot going on. Because if they're watching, clear.
Yes.
Clear.
that is just so amazing. So I know you have different lubes. So what are the different lubes? Like
4?
Yeah, exactly.
So we have 4 different types of lubes right now. So we have a water-based lube. This is what it looks like for girls. We have a water-based lube. We have a silicone-based lube. And then we have organic aloe-based lube. And we have hybrid. Hybrid is water and silicone based. So let's talk about where you would use them. So my ladies that are listening that like to get down in the shower, if you like to get down in jacuzzi, I mean, we all do, right? So, I mean, everyone does. So if you like to get down in jacuzzi or the shower, which is super fun, right? You want to use silicone lube because silicone's going to last better for you, longer in the water. So my ladies out there that want a little quickie, you know, like before you go to work and you just have to like get it in and have your orgasm, get you ready for the day, because of course orgasms help you think clearer, make your heart better, beats depression, anxiety, is so many things that that an orgasm can do. So I would recommend you doing a water-based lubricant. And then and then if you want the best of both worlds, then you want to get like a hybrid. Hybrid is like silicone and water, best of both worlds. And then for my ladies that are just like super want something totally organic, we have something for you. So you can use an aloe based lube, which is really, really a smooth lube. And actually it has a lot of ingredients in it that can help with inflammation. So I always recommend that for the patients that have autoimmune. So if you have autoimmune diseases, I would definitely recommend you get something like that can help with inflammation, which is our organic aloe. Yeah. Toys too. So toys, be careful on your toys. So now most of the toys are really great, medical grade, 100% silicone. So you want to use, typically I would say use water-based, which is good. But now the silicone lube is so good, you can use it with a silicone toy, but not a lot, but definitely use the water-based lube with that. So yeah, girl. So four different lubes, 4 different things to use it for. You have momentum. You
gave me some samples.
What have you been doing with it?
Absolutely nothing.
Can y'all help Dr. Renee? Let's find Dr. Renee a boyfriend.
Okay, so let's not. So, that was not on the agenda. But so when you see on the market, we see these, like there's TV commercials that talk about this lube is flavored with this and this is is this stuff safe or
I mean, it's safe because a lot of it is cleared through FDA. However, over time, flavors in the vagina just aren't good. Of course, flavors in the butt's not good. So, of course, I'm never gonna do that because I want you guys to be as safe as possible. Just be careful, and remember, flavored lubes is generally for oral play, not for intercourse inside any orifice. It's generally for outside. So anything that you're doing outside, out of course, is what I call it. That's what our flavors are for.
Gotcha.
Because you have to the flavors, a lot of times you lick the flavors off. So that's why it's flavored.
Gotcha. See, we learn something every time. Learn something new. And ladies, I tried to have him on during Valentine's time, but he's a very busy man.
I was busy.
So I was grateful that we were able to get him now because I think the information is still great information. Just,
I was on a date. I was on a date. You're not the only one dating Dr. Nay.
Okay, whatever. So what I want to make sure everyone knows is that he's giving Black Doctors audience a little discount on his products. So the links are in my bio. The links are in the post for his website.
Shipping.
And free shipping is what he's giving us. So you have to put in the code Dr. Renee, which you should know how to spell, and put that in, and you get free shipping on his products. So definitely, I'm sure there's some mothers out there that probably need to do some ordering, and might want
to baby. Yeah.
What'd you say?
So the vagina can be very dry during pregnancy, after you have a baby, if you're breastfeeding, if you're on birth control pills, medications for any psychotic stuff,
even cold meds can mess with birth control.
Cold medication.
Pills. So you gotta make sure that
everything.
If you're on antibiotics, will mess with your birth control pills too. So if you don't want to have back-to-back children, you want to make sure that your husband or partner is using a condom.
Yes. Bonnie says hi. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? I love that name.
I am so impressed because most of my guests never see the comments.
Because I saw something else.
Exactly. You're such an overachiever.
Y'all are so funny in here. Ask me anything, though, but not some things you can't ask, of course.
So your products, like I said, they're available online, and we are going to be prayerful that they end up on the shelves of every store, every drugstore, every grocery store, everywhere. So that everyone. Oh, someone said you're awesome. Jarita Waters said he's awesome.
Jarita, thank you. I love you, Jarita.
Yeah. So we want them to be everywhere, but right now you have to buy them online.
Yes.
And so I think that I'm never one to promote children having sex, but if you had the discussion with your son or daughter and you need to supply them, then this would be great medical grade from a doctor.
Yeah. Condoms, they need
condoms to purchase.
Yeah.
Rather than those other brands that you don't know who they are. Here you are meeting the founder, the owner, the creator, the chemist behind it all. So why not?
It takes a lot. It takes a lot to formulate too.
I can only imagine.
I was just this week we're doing product innovation meetings for our new line of a different product that's coming out per the divisions. It takes a lot to formulate and figure out where you're going to source from. It's a lot of different steps there. It's not just so simple as you can imagine. Right. Now I have it down to it, but it takes a lot. Thank God I was a chemist for, I used to work for McCormick before I went to medical school.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I knew you were a teacher.
I used to work for McCormick before I went to med school and a teacher. So thank God I had that experience to help me in this process. And, working for other lube companies and condom companies and seeing what's going on, it actually helped me do what I need to do now. See, God has a reason why he wants you to do certain things.
Exactly.
Yeah, to prepare you for what your future is going to be.
I wonder what they say now, that other company, that lube company.
Girl, probably trying to block me on Instagram.
Someone said, "Hi, Dr. Momentum. Can you tell me about weak pelvis? I have problems. Why I cannot hold anything when I gotta go? I cannot control it."
Okay, so the first thing I would say, there's many reasons why that can occur. It can occur from just like standing up a long time. It can occur from like weight changes. It can occur from having babies. It can occur if you have like autoimmune stuff, could it deal with like collagen in your vagina. So there's many reasons why you can have a weak pelvis. The first thing I would tell you to do is learn how to do something called Kegels. Kegels. Okay, Kegels is like when you hold your vagina in and you relax it. So hold your vagina in for 10 seconds and do that maybe like 8 times every hour. Okay, so I call that vagina gym. Something else you could do is get something called Benway balls. So Benway balls are these like little balls that you could put in your vagina to give like strength training to the vagina. So you can do that. I would get 3 different sizes. Start with a smaller size, less weight, and put it in the vagina to see if you can hold it up all day and, keep it in there. And then you want to move to the higher sizes. So those are the first things that I would do before you would seek to have any surgery. And then there's lasers and stuff on the market, like rejuvenation lasers that can help you as well. There's some studies that show that it's very helpful. So yeah, that's what I would do for a weak pelvis, weak pelvis.
Thank you. Very helpful.
You're welcome. Yeah. And if you having like leaky urine when you laugh, giggle, sneeze, like, or you feel a bulging coming out down there, definitely go to your doc and then have your doctor look down there, because you just never know what it could be.
Right.
Go and look with a mirror too. You can see like your vulva, your vagina, see what's coming out, if anything's coming out, but go to your doc so they can take a look and tell you what actually is occurring to your body down there. But it's happened. It happens. You cannot even have a baby and you can have your pelvic prolapse. So it's just like aging as well. Just being aging as well can cause that.
So we had a patient when I was in undergrad, and I worked in the OBGYN's office, and she had prolapse. And when I tell you, so she had one of those cubes in there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Pessary, right?
Pessary, yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't know I knew that. And I just blew him away.
No potatoes and no, I've seen all kinds of things in vagina. So don't
wait, so she was an old lady. Bless her heart. She was probably 80 plus.
Oh,
and that's why you wouldn't do surgery, because she was, such an older lady, right? Mm-hmm. So when I tell you, we were changing out her pessary and we took it out. And when I tell you the stench, oh my God. Now, mind you, I was working at OBGYN's office and everyone's like, oh my God, Renee. I was like, because that's really what I wanted to do. Well, I wanted to do what I do, but I didn't think I could do this and get paid for it. So I figured that I needed to fall back on something. So OBGYN was my favorite thing of all things medicine. That's what I wanted to do. And in case you guys didn't know, outside of blackdoctor.org, because I love them. They've been my family for more than 10 years. But I have a show that's in 45,000 doctors' offices across the country called Out of Office with Dr. Renee. And I'm in some of your Walgreens, the urgent care Walgreens, some of the cafeterias and hospitals. I hear I'm in the cafeteria at Northwestern Hospital in Chicago. Yep. I know that I'm in the Walgreens on 35th and King Drive because I saw myself one day. So that's what I'm saying when I say this is what I always wanted to do. I wanted to get in media to talk about health. So I wanted to be an OBGYN. So I was like, I loved working at the office. I never smelled anything. Now, mind you, my nose is sharp outside the office, but in the office, I never smelled a thing. That day, I smelled something, and I walked out of her room, and I guess it was in my face. The nurse was like, "Are you okay?" I go, No, I'm not okay. It was awful.
That happens because a lot of times, so like if the pessary is in the vagina, so pessary is like some kind of like shaped, something like the silicone that you can put inside the vagina to like keep organs up.
Hold their organs up. Yep.
Yeah. So bladder, like if your bladder is dropping, you can put it in there. If the rectum is coming up, you can put it in there. If the uterus and the cervix is like prolapsing down, you can put it and keep it up. But that happens a lot of older patients. They just don't have the stamina to like actually pull the pessary out to actually clean it once a week. You definitely should clean it once a week. So a lot of times that happens though.
Yeah.
For the older ladies. And then urinating problems and the urinating mixing with the vagina vaginal discharge. Yeah, it's just like those things can happen. They can happen. Yeah.
So you guys, I just remembered I did an article for Madame Noir. I used to have a column for Madame Noir, Ask Dr. Renee. And I did an article and I interviewed, of course, my bestie, and we talked about the vagina. And do you guys know that is my first, it might be my first and only viral article ever. And when I say viral, I am talking that like in less than an hour, we had over 10,000 views. And by 24 hours, I mean, it was just ridiculous. I had never seen anything like that in my life with my name attached to it. It was crazy. But
the vagina is very powerful.
Very powerful, and there was a lot of people that were, inquiring about it. They, they were just blown away. Like, there was some information in there that he said that makes perfect sense, but the problem is that we are not educated on our anatomy, so we don't know what's what. So he said you never put soap in your vagina, and everyone's like, what? You gotta wash? No. You need to know the difference between your vulva, your vagina. You need to know all the parts of your anatomy, and if you don't know the parts, then you don't know what we were talking about. And so people were like, oh, he's wrong, and I was like, no, he's actually right.
People still do that? People still put soap in their vagina?
Look, I think, like I said, I don't think they know what the vagina is versus other things. They just call all of that the vagina,
Black Dr. Peep, stop.
Yeah. So there's another question. What are the odds of miscarrying when diagnosed with an autoimmune disease like thyroiditis or Hashimoto's? Is it something to be concerned about?
There isn't I don't know actually the percentage of risk, but there is a risk. So before you were to get pregnant, what I would advise you to do is go see someone called a maternal fetal medicine specialist. They're high-risk OBs, and they can make sure that your autoimmune disease is controlled before you actually try to get pregnant. So that will give you the best chance.
See, you guys, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Wealth of information. Wealth of information.
I'm old.
I'm older than you, silly.
Older. I'm older.
He's
older.
So silly. Silly.
Thank you for
somebody said Kegel exercise help tighten the pelvis. Exactly.
Yes.
They do. And you can, I'm doing my Kegels right now. Nobody would even know.
No one's going to know.
Exactly. And you know what? I also wanted to share with you guys that when I was heavier, I had horrible urinary incontinence. Now, you guys see I drink a gallon of water a day. Totally different.
She pees a lot, though. You do. Totally. She just peed before we were live.
No, but totally different. I wasn't drinking my water like this, and when I had to go, just like the viewer said, when I had to go right then. I could not hold it. This was in college. My friends knew if I said I had to go, everyone went in a different direction to find me a bathroom quickly because it was going to be a mess if not. And so I completely understand. And once I lost weight, I will tell you that it completely disappeared. I don't have that problem now. The only problem is I like to sit and hold it for a long time because I'm just special like that. Because I'm like, well, I just need to finish this bottle before I go again. So that's the only thing now. But I truly do understand that. And I'll tell you, I wear Speaks underwear. I'll put the link in here. I wear Speaks. Speaks are pee panties, and they will hold. Don't hold me, but I think it's a quarter cup of water.
Yes.
And so I wear those daily actually because one, they're very comfortable. Two, back when I was out in the world, I used to walk long distances all the time. And so they might save me before I make it to the next bathroom. So I've given you all way too much information. Okay. Somebody said yes, because the thyroid controls every hormone and possibility of becoming high risk. You have to monitor diet as well as fluid intake with Hashimoto's.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Lavita.
Yes. Thank you.
Lavita T.
Yes.
I like that name.
But yeah, so it's really important that we learn our anatomy so we know exactly what is down there. Get a mirror and look and know what's what and what's what. Because it's
so you have 3 holes, right? Y'all know that. You have 3 holes. Do y'all know? I think y'all know that. So there's 3 holes down there, right? There's a hole that you urinate out of. There's a vagina, and then there's a anus. So there's 3 holes there, okay? Just make sure y'all know that.
Did you hear that? You don't pee out of your vagina. You pee out of your urethra.
You don't pee out of your vagina. Yeah. I get that a lot.
And then let me tell you, this is one of the things that I learned from his books. Please tell them, how many different orgasms are there?
Oh my God, there's so many.
Spots, I mean, how many spots?
There's tons of spots, but I'll tell you the most important ones. So G spots are really important. G spots.
That's the only one anyone ever talks about.
Well, that's why women love
alphabet.
That's why a lot of ladies love the missionary style, like the guy on top of you. And think about a guy like a weighted blanket or a girl like on top of you. And then, it's really easy to hit if you have a curved penis. So you have a curved penis up, it's really, really super easy to get. So G-spot, as soon as you put your hand in the vagina, you should be able to feel it, and it's going to be up all the way to the top. Then there's like a U-spot around the urethra, which is what you urinate out of. So that's what we think, not proven, that's what we think that people squirt from. That's what we think. And you've heard squirting before, like release of ejaculate from the Skene's glands, but we think it comes from there, that U spot. Okay. And then there's a spot, which is right behind the cervix, that deep penetration. You would love that. And then there's a spot actually in the anus. It's called the PS spot, perineal sponge spot, and that actually is erogenous. So the perineal sponge is synonymous to the prostate. Okay. So a lot of, and I know people are like, oh my God, guys, touching their prostate is so like, not normal. However, you can have a toy like a vibrator and you can put it underneath the scrotum to stimulate the prostate during an orgasm, and he will love it. It will be the best orgasm of his life. Thank me later for that.
I told you. I'm telling you guys, lots of information. So somebody, Odette said, is a pessary needed for older women that had a hysterectomy in the past, or all older women?
Oh no, it's not. No, it has nothing to do with age. It's just something to do with when the organs prolapse and you're not a good candidate for surgery. So if you're not a good candidate for surgery, and you could be young, like for example, you can be 30 years old and have had like 3 heart attacks, right? So you may not be a candidate to have any kind of prolapse surgery, and we may opt to do like a pessary for you. So it's not to do with age. It's really about your risks for going under anesthesia, like being put to sleep. So that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Yeah, so you could be young.
If you have any other questions,
watching from New York, Agnes. Agnes is watching from New York. We like Agnes. I love NYC. Is it cold here or hot? We love New York.
Yes. So please, you guys, go to his websites. I have links, like I said, in the post for his sites, and you can explore. There's lots of information on the sites as well. Are your books still available on Amazon?
Yeah, they're on Amazon. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Dr. Drai, as you see it spelled, Drai. You can look on Amazon for his books. And actually, he has more than just those 2 books. He has a lot of books.
I have like 11 books.
See, he has a lot of books. I
do a lot. I have fun. It's a balance. It's a balance. You have to have a balance in life. So I would encourage everyone to literally live their best life. So do whatever you want to do every single day, and that's what I do. I mean,
that is my hashtag. Live the life you deserve.
I love it, and that's why I need to hear more of that, Dr. Renee, because you're definitely living your life. Dr. Renee has so many big things going on. I don't want to tell you because she'll be so mad at me. She will get me.
Thank you, Odette. She said we always share the best information. Thank you.
We should have a bestie show.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have fun.
Yeah, you guys do know I have the Ask Dr. Renee show, and we had an episode a few weeks ago. That was me kind of coming out of the closet again because I hadn't had a show since July. So I finally decided to come back, and then we're going to have a show this Saturday. We are going to have Abra McField, the hair doctor, who is my hair doctor.
Oh, cool.
My hair down my back. And so I am having her on, and I'm so excited to have her on my show so she can tell her whole story. But Dr. Drai has been on my show twice.
Several times, yeah.
So the first time he was on was very early on, but he told his story of how he became Dr. Drai. And I think that if you have young children, it might inspire them to, Dr. Drai is from Biloxi, Mississippi.
Country as heck. Okay, country. Cow tipping, horseback riding, country. Okay. You would never think that.
Right. And you guys, when I tell you, he went from country cow tipping to Dr. Drai is, so I'll be honest with you. Most of my friends, I hang around 6-7 figure people. That's just what I do. And he's part of the crew. So I'm telling you, his story is amazing. And I hope that you would go and check out that episode. I will try and go get the link and put it in the post. But yeah, so the second time he was on, he was talking about sex again. It was last year, Valentine's Day. He was chatting with us about that, and it was hilarious. But yeah, the Ask Dr. Renee show this month is Women's History Month, so I'm trying to focus on women and women that have amazing businesses. So we're going to start out this Saturday with Abra McField of Abracadabra Hair Sew-In, which is what I wear usually.
Awesome.
We will be back in a sew-in soon, God willing. But so everyone, my show is live on Saturdays at 3 o'clock Eastern, so 2 Central, 12 o'clock Pacific. And of course, it's on my channel at Ask Dr. Renee. And I'm so excited. We have a really, 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 really big guest that is going to be doing the show in May.
Oh, look at
Can't
you.
talk about it yet, but I can't wait. Thank you for joining us, Lisa from Raleigh.
Lisa Boone.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm so glad you found it informative. But please make sure you guys visit his site. Follow him. He's on social media. What's the Momentum Intimacy?
Go to momentumforher.com to get free shipping.
Yes.
You have to put in Dr. Renee. Dr. Renee, will you check out to get free shipping? Free.
What's your Instagram for Momentum Intimacy?
So Momentum for Her.
Momentum for Her is the Instagram. Please go check it out. Always posting great information. His blog, drdrai.com. Amazing blogs.
A lot going on.
He talks about everything, sex and women's health. So please make sure you check that out. To subscribe, I get his emails, and I'm telling you, every time I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know that. So great information, and he stays on top of what's going on. So he always has the newest information.
You know what I'm into now? I'm into like sex, like how to improve like sexual health for people that have accessibility problems, like disability.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm into that. I'm like really studying that because I feel like that population needs my help. Okay. Like if you're blind, you're deaf, you're in a wheelchair.
I follow 2 couples on YouTube that the husbands are in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
So one husband was born with some genetic disease. I can't remember. I want to say it might be one of the dystrophies. And then on the MD spectrum. And then the other one, he had a horrible accident as a college student, I think, and he's paraplegic.
Yeah, I need to figure out how can we improve their sex, because all people deserve pleasure. Like it doesn't matter your gender, your sexuality, your different ability. Like all people deserve sexual pleasure, and that's my job as a sex expert doctor to kind of help America get there. Feel the moment. Get in momentum.
Okay, and on that note, we will see you next Thursday. And like I said, it's Kidney Awareness Month, colorectal, so we are going to cover all of it. In case you didn't know, Black people are dying at a horrible rate with chronic kidney disease and to colorectal cancer. So, and younger and younger and younger. So we definitely need to talk about that in our community. So thank you guys. See you next week. Same time, same place. Or will I see you Saturday? The Ask Dr. Renee Show. Bye.
Bye.